Hello everyone, and welcome back to Simple English Chat. I'm Leo.
And I'm Mia. It's great to be here with all of you again on our YouTube channel. We love having you join us for these easy English conversations. Today, we're going to talk about something many of us do to relax and have fun, watching TV. It's a big part of modern life, and there are so many different ways to do it now, which makes for a really interesting topic, especially for those of you learning English, because it involves a lot of common vocabulary.
That's right, Mia. Watching TV is a universal pastime. Almost everyone around the world enjoys it in some form. And for people learning English, it can be a fantastic way to practice listening and understanding. You hear natural conversations, different accents, and learn new words in context. Plus, it's just enjoyable. So, we're going to explore all about TV today, from how we watch it, to what we watch, and maybe even share some of our own favorite shows. We want to keep it simple, clear, and helpful for everyone.
Absolutely. Let's start with the basics. How do people watch TV these days? It used to be very simple, didn't it? You had a TV set, and you turned it on to watch channels that came through an antenna or a cable. But now, it's a whole new world. There are so many options, and sometimes it can feel a bit confusing, even for native speakers, let alone for someone who is also trying to understand all the new terms in English.
You're right, Mia. The landscape of TV watching has changed a lot. For a long time, the main way was through cable TV. This is where you pay a company, and they send many channels to your TV through a special wire, a cable. You get hundreds of channels sometimes, with news, sports, movies, and shows. Many homes still have cable TV, especially for live events like sports or news, because it's usually very reliable and has a wide range of options readily available. It's a traditional method that people have relied on for decades.
Yes, cable TV is still popular, but now we also have something called streaming services. This is a big change. Instead of a cable, you use the internet. You pay a monthly fee to a company like Netflix, Disney Plus, or Amazon Prime Video, and then you can watch many shows and movies whenever you want, on your TV, computer, tablet, or phone. It's very flexible. You don't have to wait for a show to air at a specific time. You can watch it at midnight if you like. It gives you a lot of control over your viewing schedule, which is a huge advantage for many people, myself included.
That flexibility is a game changer. With streaming, you can binge watch a show. This means you watch many episodes, one after another, without stopping. For example, if a new season of your favorite show comes out, you might watch all 10 episodes in one weekend. It's a very common activity now. I know I've definitely done it many times, especially when a show is really good and you just can't wait to see what happens next. It's a very modern way of consuming entertainment, and it's quite different from how we used to watch TV, where you'd have to wait a whole week for the next episode.
Oh, I'm a big binge watcher too, Leo. It's so hard to stop when a story is exciting. Another term related to streaming is on demand. This means you can choose exactly what you want to watch, when you want to watch it, from a library of content. It's not like traditional TV where you have to wait for a show to be broadcast. Streaming services are essentially on-demand services, giving you access to a huge selection of movies and TV series at your fingertips, ready to play whenever you decide. This is a massive shift in how we consume media, putting the viewer firmly in control.
Right. So we have cable TV, which is more traditional, and streaming services, which use the internet and offer on-demand content and the chance to binge watch. Are there any other ways people watch TV, Mia? For example, some people might still use a digital antenna, which is like the old rabbit ears, but for digital signals. It's a way to get local channels for free without paying for cable or streaming. It's a good option for people who only want to watch the basic local news and network shows without any monthly bills. It's a very cost-effective solution for basic TV viewing.
That's a great point, Leo. Digital antennas are a good, budget-friendly option. And then, some people might still buy or rent DVDs or Blu-rays. These are physical discs that you put into a special player connected to your TV. It's not as common as it used to be, but some people still prefer to own physical copies of their favorite movies or shows. It's a way to ensure you always have access to your content, even if your internet goes down or a streaming service removes a title. Plus, for collectors, there's a certain joy in having a physical library of films.
So many choices. Now that we've talked about how we watch TV, let's talk about what we watch. What kind of shows do you usually enjoy, Mia? Do you prefer dramas, comedies, documentaries, or something else? I know for me, I usually lean towards dramas, especially those with a lot of suspense or a good mystery. I like to be kept on the edge of my seat, wondering what will happen next. A good dramatic story really pulls me in and makes me think about the characters and their situations long after the episode ends.
That's an interesting preference, Leo. I enjoy a good drama too, especially if it has strong characters and a captivating storyline. But I have a soft spot for comedies. I love shows that make me laugh out loud. After a long day, sometimes all you want is something light and funny to lift your spirits. I also enjoy sitcoms, which are a type of comedy show, usually about a group of friends or a family, and they often have a laugh track. They're usually only about 20 to 30 minutes long, making them perfect for a quick watch.
Sitcoms are great for that. They're like a little dose of happiness. Do you have any specific favorite shows, Mia, that you can tell us about using simple words? Something you've watched recently or something that's always been a favorite? I'm always looking for recommendations, and I'm sure our listeners are too. It's always good to hear about shows that people genuinely enjoy, especially when they can explain why it's good in an easy-to-understand way.
Of course. One show I really enjoyed recently is called Ted Lasso. It's a comedy drama on Apple TV+. It's about an American football coach who moves to England to coach a soccer team, even though he knows nothing about soccer. It sounds silly, but it's very warm and funny, and it has a lot of heart. The main character, Ted, is always positive and kind, and he tries to make everyone around him better. It's a show that makes you feel good and optimistic, and I think that's something we all need sometimes. It's a wonderful blend of humor and emotional depth.
Ted Lasso sounds fantastic. I've heard good things about it. I might have to add that to my watch list. You mentioned it's a comedy drama, which is a good term for our listeners to know. It means it has elements of both comedy and drama, so it can make you laugh and also feel strong emotions. It's a common genre that combines the best of both worlds, offering both light-hearted moments and serious, thought-provoking storylines. It's a very popular type of show because it offers a full range of human experience.
Exactly. And what about you, Leo? What's a show you've really enjoyed recently or a long-time favorite? Something you could recommend to our audience.
Well, one show that I've been watching and really enjoying is called The Crown. It's on Netflix. It's a historical drama about the British royal family. It starts with Queen Elizabeth II becoming queen and follows her life and the lives of her family members through many decades. It's very well made, with beautiful costumes and sets, and the actors are wonderful. You learn a lot about history, but it's also a very human story about power, family, and duty. It's not always light, but it's very interesting and gives you a glimpse into a very unique life. It's a show that makes you think about the responsibilities that come with such a powerful position.
The Crown is a very popular show. I've seen some episodes, and I agree, it's very well done. It's a good example of a period piece, which is another term for a show or movie that is set in a specific time in the past. They pay a lot of attention to details from that era, like clothes, cars, and how people spoke. These kinds of shows can be very educational as well as entertaining, offering a window into different historical periods and cultures.
Yes, The Crown is definitely a period piece. It makes you feel like you're really there in those historical moments. So, we've talked about our individual favorites. Have we watched any shows in common, Mia? Something we both saw and can talk about? It's always fun to share thoughts on a show with someone who has also experienced it.
Oh, absolutely. I think a show we both watched and really enjoyed was Stranger Things. It's also on Netflix. This show is a science fiction horror series. It's set in the 1980s, and it's about a group of kids who live in a small town where strange things start to happen. There are monsters, secret government experiments, and a girl with special powers. It's very exciting, sometimes scary, but also has a great story about friendship. I remember being completely hooked from the first episode. The mix of nostalgia, mystery, and supernatural elements was just perfect.
Yes, Stranger Things is a fantastic choice, Mia. I love that show. The way it combined the 1980s setting with the supernatural elements was brilliant. The child actors were amazing, and the story kept you guessing. It's a great example of a show that appeals to a wide audience because it has elements of mystery, adventure, and even some heartfelt moments about growing up. I remember staying up late to watch just one more episode, and then another, because I just couldn't put it down. It's truly a show that captures your imagination.
Exactly. And it's a good show for English learners because the language used by the kids is quite natural and everyday, even though the plot is very imaginative. The dialogue is often clear, and you can pick up on a lot of common phrases and expressions. Plus, the visual storytelling is so strong that you can often understand what's happening even if you miss a few words here and there. It's a very immersive experience that helps with language acquisition.
That's a great point, Mia. Watching shows with good visual storytelling can really help with comprehension. Another show we both watched, I believe, is The Queen's Gambit. This was also on Netflix, and it was a mini-series, which means it has a limited number of episodes and tells a complete story within that one season. It's about a young girl who is a chess prodigy, meaning she is incredibly talented at chess from a very young age. It's a drama, and it's very intense and gripping. The acting was superb, and even if you don't play chess, the story is so compelling.
Oh, The Queen's Gambit. Yes, I absolutely love that show. It was so well made, and the story of Beth Harmon, the main character, was so inspiring. It's a perfect example of a mini-series, as you said, Leo. It told a full story, with a clear beginning, middle, and end, which is sometimes nice, because you know it won't go on for too many seasons. The show was also visually stunning, and the way they filmed the chess matches was really exciting, making a game that might seem boring to some people feel incredibly dramatic and engaging.
It truly was. The costumes, the sets, the way they built the tension around the chess games, it was all masterfully done. It's a show that transcended its subject matter and became a global phenomenon. It even made chess more popular for a while. That's the power of a really well-told story on TV. It can inspire people and introduce them to new interests, which is a wonderful side effect of good entertainment.
It definitely did. So, looking ahead, Leo, is there anything you are looking forward to watching? A new season of a favorite show, or a completely new series that's coming out soon? It's always exciting to anticipate new content. The world of TV is constantly evolving, with new shows and movies being released all the time, so there's always something fresh to discover.
Yes, there is. I'm really looking forward to the new season of House of the Dragon. It's a fantasy series and a prequel to Game of Thrones, which was another hugely popular show. It's set in a world with dragons, kings, and queens, and a lot of political drama. I love fantasy stories, and the first season was excellent. So I can't wait to see what happens next with the Targaryen family. The scale of these fantasy shows is incredible, with amazing special effects and complex storylines that transport you to another world.
Oh, House of the Dragon. I know many people are excited about that. Fantasy series can be so immersive. They build entire worlds with their own rules, histories, and characters, which can be incredibly captivating. I'm also looking forward to a new season of a show called Severance. It's a science fiction thriller on Apple TV+. It has a very unique concept. People at a company have a special surgery, so they don't remember their work life when they are at home, and they don't remember their home life when they are at work. It's a very clever and mysterious show that makes you think a lot about work-life balance and identity. It's quite philosophical in its approach.
Severance sounds really interesting and thought-provoking. That's a clever idea for a show. It sounds like it could explore some deep themes about identity and memory, which I find very appealing in a story. I'll have to check that out as well. It's amazing how many different types of stories TV can tell now, from historical dramas to complex sci-fi thrillers. There truly is something for everyone, no matter what your interests are.
Definitely. And it's fantastic for English learners because you can choose shows that match your interests, which makes learning more enjoyable. If you love history, watch a historical drama. If you love science fiction, watch a sci-fi show. When you're interested in the content, it's much easier to stay focused and absorb the language. Plus, many streaming services offer subtitles, which can be a huge help. You can watch with English subtitles to read along, or even use subtitles in your native language if you need extra support.
That's an excellent point about subtitles, Mia. They are a powerful tool for language learning. You can hear the words and see them written at the same time, which really helps connect the sound to the spelling and meaning. It's a very active way of learning, even though you're just sitting and watching TV. It turns a relaxing activity into a productive learning session without it feeling like a chore.
Exactly. So, to wrap things up, Leo, I think we've covered a lot about watching TV today. We talked about different ways to watch, like cable TV and streaming services. We discussed terms like binge watch and on demand. And we shared some of our favorite shows, from comedies and dramas to historical dramas, sci-fi, and fantasy series. We also mentioned miniseries and period pieces. It's been a really fun chat, and I hope our listeners found it helpful and interesting.
It has been a great conversation, Mia. I always enjoy our chats, and I hope everyone listening found some new words and ideas about TV. Remember, watching TV in English is a great way to improve your language skills, so keep watching. Choose shows you enjoy, use subtitles if they help, and just immerse yourself in the language. The more you listen, the more you'll understand.
Before we go, let me quickly recap some of the new words we covered today, along with their simple definitions. This is a great way to reinforce what you've learned. First, we talked about cable TV. This is a service where you pay a company to send TV channels to your home through a wire. Then we have streaming services. These are online platforms like Netflix or Disney Plus where you pay a monthly fee to watch many shows and movies using the internet whenever you want. When you watch many episodes of a show one after another, that's called to binge watch. On demand means you can choose what you want to watch from a library of content at any time you like. You don't have to wait for it to be broadcast. A digital antenna is a device you connect to your TV to get free local channels over the air. A DVD or Blu-ray is a physical disc that stores movies or shows, which you play in a special machine. We mentioned different types of shows. A drama is a serious show, often with strong emotions and conflicts. A comedy is a show that is funny and makes you laugh. A comedy drama is a show that has both funny and serious parts. A sitcom is a type of comedy show, usually about a group of characters in everyday situations, often with a laugh track. A historical drama is a serious show set in a specific time in the past, often about real historical events or people. A period piece is a show or movie set in a particular time in the past, focusing on the details of that era. Science fiction or sci-fi is a genre about future technology, space, or imaginary scientific ideas. Fantasy series are shows set in imaginary worlds, often with magic, mythical creatures, or supernatural elements. A miniseries is a TV show with a limited number of episodes that tells a complete story in one season. And finally, to be looking forward to watching something means you're excited for it to come out or to see it soon.
Wow, Mia, that's a fantastic summary. You've really highlighted the key terms from our conversation today. I hope that recap is super helpful for everyone learning English. It's great to hear those words again and remember their meanings.
I hope so too. Thank you all for joining us on Simple English Chat today. We really appreciate you watching and learning with us.
Yes, thank you for tuning in. We'll be back soon with another Simple English Chat. Until then, happy watching.